Okay, it's another day in our writing journal. So you can go and turn to the inside page where we keep our table of contents. And number 9 that we added today is endings. And after today, we will be all ready to do our flash drive. Okay, I'm sure that you've gotten that written down. Don't mind my voice. Every now and then I slip into an Australian accent. It's just another life I lived. His name was Steve, but that's not me. I'm now Mr. Rock Bashel. Sorry, that was Steve coming out again, wasn't it? All right, so on page 9 in our journal, we've got endings at the top. I'm sure that we've all written that in at this point, so we know that is the drill. Drill to drill, drill, drill. And we can put the first thing underneath that, which is going to be coming from our rubric. And I'm going to keep referring to our rubric. Our rubric can be found in Schoology as well. So when you're writing your flash draft or final drafts, look back that to see whether you are going to be an A or less. A lesser writer. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is restate. Oh, and you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say this is the 3 R's. The 3 R's of conclusion writing. And I'll use endings and conclusions interchangeably, just like my exits. So the first one is restate. And if you've been following along with us, you'll know that we should all have our conclusions. So not our conclusions, our claims. So since we all have our claims, the first part is to restate it. And I'll show you where that is in the rubric. The rubric, right here in the middle where it says endings, we go to the end of the endings. Take a little look here. It says the writer restated the claim and reasons. Well, fantastic. We figured out our reasons yesterday, and we have our claim on that same page. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little flippy doodle and go to the previous page. There it is, waiting for me the whole time. So I'm going to say Squeaky learns that achieving your goals may not bring you happiness because she is rude, blah, blah. And I don't have to do it quite as like a formula as I've done in the past, but I'm going to write this in there. So let's see, restate. So I'm going to start to write my claim and 3 reasons in. You should do the same as well. Our goal is by the time we've done this together, you've written in your ending or a version of what your ending could be. So I'm going to write Squeaky learns. I'm going to use a different color because I like using different colors. Now remember, as I'm writing mine down, you should be writing yours down. Don't copy mine. So right now, everyone, even if you're at home or in my classroom, should be writing yours down right now. If your partner next to you is not doing that, you might give them a swift elbow to the ribs, but lovingly like, nice and gentle. Squeaky learns that achieving your goals may not bring you happiness. Achieving your goals may not bring, no. Mr. Rockdash will stop going fast. Your writing becomes illegible. Bring you happiness. Excellent. So I've restated my claim. And now I'm going to go back and think of how I can restate my reasons. My reasons were she's rude to others to protect herself, she's successful in getting what she wants, and she's protective. So I'm going to say, we realize this when she's protecting herself, protecting others, and when she gets what she wants. And like I said, I like to use colors, so I'm going to go ahead and do this part separately. We learn this when she is protecting herself. And you'll notice that as I look at these, I cut them down as far as how many words I was using. Before I said she is rude to others to protect herself, and I decided, it's a lot of words to write. And I like doing less. So I made it less. I made it that she's protecting herself. So we learned this when she's protecting herself, protecting others, and when she is successful. Hope you all can see that. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second right now while you make sure that you've got your restatement of your claim and reasons written in. So if you're at home, you might go ahead and pause the video right now and get that done before you move on. All right, now that you've gotten those written in just like I have, we're ready to move on to the next section. And since it is the 3 R's of conclusion writing, we can go ahead and guess. The next one will start with an R as well. This one is going to do with relating. Relating to others, also called a connection. If we look at our rubric, handy dandy rubric, says right here, also, the writer tried to relate the essay to the reader in the world. Oh my goodness. I think that we actually already have an example of that. I see a hand back there saying they think they do too. Where do you think we have that? What page? Waiting. They're looking in their journal. Video people at home, I know you can't see they're looking, I promise. Maybe we'll start looking back too. Let's see. Where do we have something in our journal from the previous page that universally connects to other people or gives context to other people? Try looking on page 7. If you turn to page 7 in your journal, you'll see that we've already written a universal context statement. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Wow, in our introductions, we did that. And since we know our introductions and our conclusions are very similar, it would make sense then that our universal context statement, our number ones that we did before, could be what we would write in now. It's almost like I planned this. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this out into my page 9 conclusion. I said, in life we often struggle to figure out what will make us happy. So I'm going to go and say that right here. And I'm going to put words in to make sure it flows together. Because if I just randomly put that in there, it'd feel like, yeah, so. So as I'm writing my universal context statement from page 7, you should be doing the same. So just like Squeaky, we often, class, what is it we often do? Straggle. We often straggle with I said to figure, not with. Well, I can make that. It's a little accident. No one dying. That's fine. Just like Squeaky, we often struggle. Crossed out. To figure out. Apparently, I decided I'm going to start skipping lines now. That's cool. Figure out what will make us happy. And because up here I talked about achieving things being one of the things that might make us happy, I'm going to add just a little question at the end of mine, just to help it flow and have a good connection in our conclusion. So I'm going to say, is it achieving success? And just leave that pose like that to leave the reader to consider it, because we want this to be a connection. We are connecting to the reader or relating. Second R of conclusion writing. I'm going to go ahead and give you an opportunity to make sure you've written your relate statement down, that universal context from page 7, and then we'll move on. If you're following along at home, you might pause the video. Okay, we're now on to part 3. Part 3, if we look at the rubric, is the final part. It says, finally, the writer rebutted the counterclaim one last time. Wow, if you do remember correctly, that is something we also did in our introductions. So this shouldn't be too challenging. I'm going to go ahead and use my black pen now, and I'm going to take a look back at our introduction to see how I rebutted it before. So some people may disagree that finding happiness comes from achieving what they want. So I'll start by saying that. Yes, it is almost like I planned this. Oh, almost made a mistake there. I need to make my rebut section. This is the third R. So, rebut. We got our giggles out? Oh. All right, good. I already laughed about it this morning. Okay, rebut. Some people may disagree comma, they feel that achieving success is a sure way to reach happiness. Probably if I do that again, I would use the word achieve, just because it's kind of talked about achieving a lot. So that's sort of the counterclaim right there. And now here's the rebuttal, me saying why it's not true. And I'm just going to simply say Squeaky is firsthand evidence of why this is not something that fulfills us. But why achieving our goals can still leave us empty inside. Ooh, I just got deep on you. All right, the bell's about to ring. If you're at home, finish that up.